Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Nacho Tuesday. And today I have Chad Holland here with Demand.Cloud. And without further ado, we'd love if you could introduce your product and what you guys do over there.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Appreciate the opportunity to be on NachoNacho Tuesday, Nacho Tuesday. You guys have a lot of really interesting insights that end up getting shared on your show. So I'm with Demand.Cloud. We offer a outreach platform that is an omni-channel outreach platform as of Q4 this last year. And we've also integrated a lot of AI features and functionality that really help sales teams, help SaaS leaders to reach out, make connections in an automated fashion through LinkedIn, email, SMS, and we also have calling built into our platform. And you can manage all of your outreach through a single unified inbox. We also have a database of over it's nearly 7 million records at this point, and so you don't have to have a third-party data source, and it's really easy to add to campaigns. We also have, with our new ALD, you can actually create and launch an outreach campaign within 2 to 3 minutes, and so it's really simplified creating and launching and managing effective outreach. We also have video functionality within the platform where you can create video messages at scale with one-to-many personalized video functionality.
That's great. Yeah, especially in today's world in the world of automation, the more personalized that you can get, the more it'll connect with your audience. I guess for the uninformed out there, can you tell them the importance of the omni-channel approach and why it's so particularly effective for demand generation?
Yeah, and I'm glad you asked that question because there's a lot of really awesome tools that are coming out now, right? And there's lots of things to choose from. Some of the tools are kind of a volume play, like an email channel volume play, where you can just add endless numbers of email accounts to just blast as many people as you possibly can. The reason that's less effective is because people engage in different channels, and also similar to needing to run ads in different channels, people need to see and hear from you in different channels before they're likely to respond. And also, I think the value of reaching out through multiple channels is it also makes you be a little bit more thoughtful about your message so that you're not just sending this super canned message that sounds like everybody else's, and it's not as personalized and it's not as contextualized to the problems and challenges that your target customers are facing that your business solves for. And because we all are getting so much outreach messages in our inboxes now on LinkedIn, email, text messaging, and otherwise that, it starts to just feel like a bunch of noise. And so I think our platform helps businesses be more thoughtful about their outreach messaging and helps them stand out. And we actually are able to help our customers get a 300 to 500% increase in their engagement and response rates.
Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty soon. I'm not going to be surprised if they have like a plane flying around my building with a banner on it. Hey, did you get my email?
Yeah. Did you check your email? Yeah, check your email. Yeah, no, that just gets old.
Yeah, but I got the LinkedIn request though. So we love your platform. Actually, we've been using it for quite a while over here at NachoNacho. And the one thing that we really like about it is that you can connect with people on LinkedIn. You can connect with them over email as well. There's little minute details too, like checking people's profiles and little triggers like that aren't really annoying. And I'm a big fan of, maybe doing 1 or 2 cold emails with somebody. A lot of these email marketing people are sending like 7 emails to people, and I think that's just way too much. But a small little thing like just viewing their profile on LinkedIn, even if it's automated, kind of just reminds them, hey, I got an email from this guy, without messaging them over and over and over again, which can be kind of overwhelming for a lot of people these days.
Yeah, exactly. Because you really, for outreach to be effective, you need to be genuinely networking with these people as well. That you don't want to if they get the impression, whether this is your actual intention or not, that you just want to sell them something, they're going to ignore you no matter what you say. But if you're showing genuine interest in them, and our platform can help with this by liking their posts, by following their profile, by like you said, even just viewing their profile, and then your messaging that goes along with that, genuine networking messaging, sharing valuable content, sharing helpful information, not just, hey, get on the phone with me so I can sell you something.
Yep, exactly.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah, and one of the reasons we like to do these webinars too is that, from this, people get to discover great new products, but more importantly, people walk away with a lot of great tips and insights. Chatting with people like yourself, there's a lot of things you've been through over the years, and a lot of knowledge you've developed over that time period, and that you can impart on other people that tune in. I guess, what got you to where you're at in your career? What got you towards starting Demand.Cloud, and where'd your career start, I guess?
I'll give you the short version because I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I got started in digital marketing, God, I guess about 23 years ago now. And I was really interested in it because I wanted to start my own business. And there was no education, at least in traditional education, out there about digital marketing at the time. So I had to find something. And so I actually found a program back in the day by a guy named Corey Rudel that had been really successful at selling ebooks, but he actually produced this very comprehensive course, especially for the time, on digital marketing. So anyway, I dove in, I just consumed it over several months period of time. I ended up getting a job for a local e-commerce business, doing digital marketing for them. And then fast forward a few years, I ended up moving to New York, taking a job with a digital marketing agency there, and working for a few other companies while I was there, including one of the ones that was the most interesting was the Reader's Digest Association, which has since rebranded. But in all my experience, I still wanted to start my own business. I worked for a SaaS company here in Utah for a while, and that's really what kind of segued me into more B2B and less B2C and digital marketing. And we ended up starting their inbound marketing efforts, and really ended up having a very successful program for them, helping their business to grow by 40% in revenue year over year, a couple of years in a row. But ultimately, I still felt I wanted to start my own business. So I started an agency and, helping businesses with their marketing, just like I had for that SaaS company. And in the process, we were asked a lot, do you do outbound marketing as well? And we said, of course we do. What is that? How do we do that? And so we started using different tools out there to help with outbound marketing, and got really good at it. And we always just found that a lot of the tools that we were using just, some had this feature, some had that feature. We ended up having to use several tools to kind of do holistic outbound effectively. And so we ultimately decided we need our own tool that has everything that we wish we had in one place. And so that's kind of how Demand.Cloud outreach platform was born.
Yeah, I found a lot of agencies kind of breed these products, if you will, because they identified, and a lot of the people I've interviewed, they really identify a key problem that a lot of their customers are having, and they come to this exact same conclusion. Why don't we just build it ourselves? Then before you know it, you've productized your service, and you have something that's really scalable. But you understand the problem, and because of it, you're able to build a great solution.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not like we started development not knowing what the market needed. We were actively doing outbound marketing and A/B testing and trying to see what worked, what didn't for client after client, and so we kind of you could kind of say it's a marketing tool built by marketers.
That's always good to have. I guess what have you seen over the years as really effective tactics or strategies for outbound that convert?
Um, well, it's the way that we've ended up approaching it. That's I think uh, one of the most effective strategies is to take strategies that are very successful for inbound marketing, which involves content and involves, in a nutshell, providing value and help to your target customers as they're aware of a problem or challenge that they're trying to solve for and trying to figure out how to solve for it. And leading with value in your outbound. Like, I know you have this problem or challenge. Here's something that, and it doesn't even have to necessarily be your own content that you've produced. You could say, here's this awesome article on Forbes or Inc.com on how to do this or about that. And I really liked this point about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And you lead with value, because you have to build trust, because outbound is cold outreach typically. Certainly you can start with your first degree and second degree connections, but a lot of it is really cold. They don't know you from Adam. So why should they give a rat's about why you're reaching out to them? You're just going to try to sell me something, right? But if you build some trust and show that you're genuinely wanting to network, and I have some information, I don't know if you happen to see it or not, that might help you out, it makes a difference, right? And then also with that, the more personable and personalized in your messaging that you can be, the better. And that's one of the reasons why with our platform we have personalized video messages, where you can record a video and it will dynamically populate your prospects LinkedIn profile in the background, and you can actually take actions on their profile while recording the video, so that when they see it, you don't have to record it for every single person. You just record it once, but then we dynamically add their profile to their version of the profile that they get in their LinkedIn message. And it stands out. It's like, oh, this person took the time to come to my profile, even though technically you didn't.
Automation.
and so it gets their attention, and then they click on it and they go to a link. Also personalized. You can have their name, their company name, and different things, and it stands out, and they're going to pay attention. And so if you're keeping personalization in mind, and if you're leading with value, you're going to stand out. You're going to cut through the noise and get people to engage.
That's a great point. And one of the cornerstones of your strategy you mentioned was data, without saying it directly. But so the more data that you have on your customers too, right? And that's the big thing with inbound too, right? Collecting as much data so you could customize that user experience for people when they're using your product. But same goes for outbound too, right? So the more data you have on the user, for instance, utilizing their LinkedIn profile for the personalized videos, the more personalized you can come across for people, and the more likely they are to actually, respond to your message and, see that pitch as something tailored to actually help them, and your actual desire to network them rather than just straight up sell them something, which everybody can read right away if you use those basic variables like first name and company, company names and all that stuff in the email.
Yeah, because the most effective outbound is actually writing a message unique to that person, right?
Yeah.
The challenge, of course, is that that's super hard to do for every single person you're reaching out to, and then, of course, on top of that, following up with them. But if you utilize AI tools, and of course we have this built within our platform, but regardless of what the AI tool is that can help you collect that data about that person from their LinkedIn profile, from them online generally, and you say something in your message that is unique to them, that isn't just kind of the canned, hey, I noticed your company's doing great things, yay, congratulations. It's like, oh yeah, okay, you didn't look at anything. And you say something about them as a person, you say something about their company that they actually have done, but AI is a great way to help you do that at scale, right? And parse out that personalized information that you can utilize in your outreach.
Yeah, I love it when I get emails. They see I'm in New York and they're like, "Oh, go Jets," and I'm like, "Not really."
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, I may or may not be a sports fan, and that may or
Yeah,
may
might
not
not
be
even
my
like
team.
football, I guess. And the Jets are hard
Yeah.
to like, let's be honest. um, I guess what other data tools and processes should businesses be aware of in 2024? I guess what tools are available for them to really take advantage of data collection and actually utilizing it in their strategy?
You know, it's an excellent question. There's so many good tools out there, and of course, not just for outreach, but for demand generation in general. There's great tools like Looker, Segment, Mixpanel, um, Amplitude. Um, I think kind of the key with the data tools, regardless of which one you choose to use, is accuracy in your data
Yeah.
and accuracy in the information about your prospects, about their interest, their intent. Intent data is big, right? ABM is account-based marketing is becoming bigger and bigger, and we're actually encouraging kind of an account-based marketing type approach a lot in even outreach, because if you can identify companies that are showing intent before reaching out to them, how much more effective and how much more open and responsive to your message will they likely be.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's lots of intent. Bombora is a great platform. The challenge is a lot of these are super expensive, right?
For obvious reasons.
for obvious reasons, right? Because it's kind of the cream of the crop people that are looking. But tools like Seamless.ai, Seamless has great data. We've actually used them a lot for some of our customers. Either in addition to or sometimes even instead of our own database of records. And one of the reasons why is because they now have an offering of intent data. So you can search their database based on intent. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think that has something to do with an integration with Bombora or something. But, so if you can get data that has intent data tied into it, that'll just make your demand generation that much more effective because your audience is in market.
Yeah, that's I guess Google search was kind of one of the OG intent-based advertising channels, because somebody's going to go through the effort to type in a keyword or phrase to search for something. They're much more likely to buy a product than somebody that's just hearing about it randomly and on social media somewhere, which tends to be more top of the funnel.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit in the middle of the funnel too, but it's the buyer journey is so much more done before a person talks to a potential solution or company now. Like I think it's up to like 80% or more now. So yeah, ways that you can identify when people are at that point where you should get in front of them. And intent data is one of the best ways to do that.
And it is part of the omni-channel approach too, right? So just being out there where people might not even know what they need actually, and they hear about you, they say, hey, there's a solution for that. Maybe they watched the webinar today. They had no intent to figure out all these great tools like Demand.Cloud, which could actually solve a real problem that they have. But here we are today, right? So it's great top of funnel in that regard as part of an omni-channel approach. But I guess what kind of what tips would you offer for somebody starting a demand generation strategy from ground zero? Let's say they're a cash-strapped startup or an SMB and they want to get the most bang for the buck.
Yeah, that's a great question. It regardless of the channel, regardless of it, whether it's inbound or outbound, for demand generation, you have to lead with value. You have to share content in various forms. You can start with blog posts. Short form videos are great, but you have to be sharing content that's valuable, that's going to help people solve their problems and challenges. And social media posts, there's a lot of people that are starting to do carousel graphic posts now that are super helpful, right? Like as an example of someone that's sharing, top 10 prompts for Chat GPT, and they have a carousel that kind of walks you through the prompts and things like that. Super valuable content, right? And that does a couple of things. It is helpful, obviously, to people, but it also shows that you know what you're talking about, that you're someone to pay attention to, that your company should be paid attention to. And that generates awareness of you and your business, and helps you attract people to start listening to you more, which gives you an opportunity to segue into, and here's how our solution can help you with that, or solve that for you, or make it easier for you.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've seen a lot of those on Instagram and even LinkedIn. If you're providing good quality information for people, not only are they likely to consume it themselves, but they're likely to share it to other people and increase the overall visibility. And even if it's something small as, just posted by your account, that's still in that share, when it gets reshared, it's still right there. You get the visibility. Maybe you could even say powered by your company in the bottom right corner, some small subtle way to get your brand out there. But if we're doing it well enough and people are resharing and they're seeing your brand and logo everywhere, that builds, awareness for your business, but also trust too, right? As an authority in that space, which is very important for a B2B company these days more than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And that can be shared in terms of intent, because a lot of the intent data tools are so expensive, they're out of the reach of a lot of small businesses. So if you're producing content, other areas that you can find intent, but surface that by sharing that valuable content is in LinkedIn groups, that are relevant, where business, even just a fact that somebody's in a LinkedIn group is an indicator that they're have intent around that topic, right? And so if you're sharing valuable content in those LinkedIn groups, that's a great way to kind of indirectly say, hey, those with intent on this topic in this group, here's some helpful, valuable information, and you build trust, like you said, and attract them as a customer.
That's a great point. I guess, what other demand strategy predictions do you have for 2024? You mentioned ABM was kind of a big trending theme. It's been continuing from last year and the year before, of course, but anything else?
Yeah, the biggest trend, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but it's going to become more and more prevalent, but is the use of AI in all of your marketing efforts, your sales efforts. And the reason why it's so important is for small businesses especially is it can actually help level the playing field, because small businesses don't have necessarily the internal and funding resources to just produce the content as quickly as they'd like, to market it as quickly as they'd like, and different things like that. So use of AI tools, whether it's just straight using Chat GPT or a competing AI platform, or tools that take those models and make it easier to do specific things, those need to be integrated in processes for marketing and sales, and not only to level the playing field, but to give you a competitive edge, because the companies that don't, they're frankly just going to be left behind.
Yeah, that's a great point. I was playing with this video tool yesterday even. It's nice to have a human in the loop still, but you could, follow the Pareto principle. You could have it do 80% of the lifting with like 20% of the effort, right? So, I took these, one of our NachoTuesday webinars actually, and it's like a 30-minute webinar. And this thing really just condensed it down to these key talking points. It's called Munch. It's also on our SaaS marketplace too. They condensed it down to like these key segments of the video that were about a minute long, which were pretty on point in terms of like key talking points that came out of that 30-minute webinar. And then you could overlay text, and you could do the whole transcription and everything right there. The end result, if you don't do anything to it, it's probably 80% of the way there. So you have to fine tune some of the language and the way the content's presented, but it does a lot of heavy lifting for you right off the bat there, and it saves a lot of time for anybody that's trying to take some great content that they have and pull out the good stuff from it.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with what you said about it's 80% of the way there.
Yeah.
Because it still is going to require a human touch, but if it can save 80% of your time in the process, why not? It gets you that much closer to the goal of producing good content. And the video tools that are coming out are pretty awesome. I'm totally spacing on the name of it right now, but I was looking at a video tool the other day that where you can create an AI version of yourself.
Oh yeah, we have one of those. It's called HeyGen.
Oh, that's it. That's actually the one.
It's pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking at them the other day, and I think you record like a 2-minute video of yourself, and the quality of what it produces is amazing. And then you can feed it scripts, right, of exactly what you want it to say, which you could get help producing in advance with AI. and then you can produce video after video without having to record, do take 1, do take 10, do take 20 before you're happy with how you worded something, right? And so tools like that are just going to make it a lot easier for small businesses to be successful this year.
Yeah, and the ums and everything that you have in there. You try to shoot a 2-minute tutorial video, and there might be a couple ums in there where you just say, "Oh, it ruined the whole thing," But this thing just reads right off the script like a champ, and it's pretty much looks and sounds like you. It's a little robotic sounding, but it gets it done super quick, and it's very very reliable tool actually.
It's close enough, right?
Oh, close enough, right? Like I said, 80% of the way there. So if you need to get something out. I still feel like shooting something live and just doing the script in your own voice and really, practicing for it is still the best way. But I mean, if you're in,
I agree. But if
fast,
that's the thing is I don't think you should do 100% AI on that type of stuff. You just like it helps you do more, right? It helps you, especially for smaller teams than what you could do otherwise.
Yeah. And what do you see? Foresee as problems for demand generation in 2024 and beyond, especially with automation and AI? Everything's getting a lot more fast paced and competitive. What tips would you offer an SMB to keep up with all this?
I think the biggest thing is because there's both a problem and a benefit to all the use of AI, and the problem is there's going to be a lot of crap content that's produced, and that's because some people are not going to take that 20% of the time to make sure that it's the copy's right, that the video's right, that that it sounds personable, right? And so the challenge that's going to create for the rest of people who do take the time is how are you going to stand out? And so I think if you focus, and this is kind of the tried and true thing that we've already said a few times, is focus on value and producing quality content, regardless of the format. That's what's going to make you stand out and cut through the noise.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, AI can do a lot of amazing things, but don't use it as a crutch entirely. Don't just depend on it to make all the videos for you. If you do 80% of the work, do that last 20%. You could get really great quality content out of there that actually converts people, as opposed to just flooding more noise out there, which ultimately is going to make it more competitive to have great content to really actually stand out.
Exactly. And then the other thing I would recommend is utilize the data in the results of what you put out there. Make sure that you're focused on the right KPIs. Do A/B testing with anything that you do, even if it's just 2 or 3 variations with anything that you do, because if you build testing into everything that you do, whether it's in marketing, whether it's in sales, you'll reach your goal, in my experience, 5 to 10 times faster. Because if you can identify a better performing version and eliminate the lower performing version, and then run with that, and then even A/B test that further, you'll get to your goal faster.
Yeah, that's a great point, because the testing never ends, right? Even when you're building a product, you're always, especially software, you can iterate on things so quickly. So you're always, launching new updates, just improving, onboarding UX as an example, just making it always just a better experience for people. But
Exactly.
yeah, I guess what's next for Demand Cloud over the next few years?
Well, we've got a lot of big goals and plans. We're going to be expanding the platform quite a bit. We're still going to be offering outbound as a standalone, but we're expanding in a couple of ways. We are going to be releasing our own CRM that's powered by High Level, that our outbound platform will be fully integrated with. And so kind of one of my goals and dreams with Demand Cloud was to create a holistic marketing platform that you have the functionality of tools like HubSpot, but you also have the functionality of tools, outreach tools that are out there, all in one place. And you can manage all of your digital marketing efforts in one platform. And so that's the not too distant future for what we'll be offering. And that may not be what everybody needs, though. So we're still going to be offering outbound, our outbound platform as a standalone as well. But for those that want to have everything in one place and to be able to run AI-powered digital ads on all the different social platforms and search platforms, to be able to automate their lead nurturing from their lead generation, they can do that. If they want to manage their outreach and their sales pipeline all in one place, in one platform, they're going to be able to do so with Demand Cloud.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, we've I mentioned this earlier, but NachoNacho is a customer of Demand Cloud, so it's been super powerful for us. So very excited to see what you guys do in the future as well. It sounds like you guys are building an amazing platform over there. Not that you already haven't. I mean, it's provided a lot of value for us, and I'm just excited to see the new tools that you guys roll out over the next few years too. Definitely recommend anybody check out your guys' product. It's been amazing for our outbound as well. We utilize it every single day. You can grab it today in NachoNacho's B2B SaaS marketplace. We have 25% cash back when you get it from us. We got the best tools here at NachoNacho, and it's because we work with great companies like Chad's here. So Chad, once again, thank you so much for coming on today, and we look forward to our continued partnership.
Likewise. Thank you so much, Andy.
You too.